Hi guys, today we're going to talk about data grids and how to build a tree view in your data grid. So the first step is to say in the grid definition endpoint that this should be a tree view grid. You can do that simply by adding here this line of code, grid tree view is true. Second step here, we're going to create a tree view here based on the customers on the existing application which we made earlier, and we're going to build it in the customer. So what I'll do is I'll just take a country and just not load the country Austria in this grid and just link it to France, for example. So I want to link Austria and all the customers of Austria to the country France. So that's just a little example, but just to demonstrate how it works. So the first thing we'll have to do is we'll have to define a variable which is called parent row ID data, because the grid has its main row ID data field, which is sent back from the endpoint. And we also have a secondary field called parent row ID data, and that one is actually the link between the two rows or the two records. So we'll define this variable here. Next, we'll say quickly here, I'm going to, in the prepare query here, I'm not going to load up my Austrian customers. So I'll simply say country different from Austria. Next, I want to use this variable. I'll copy that here. And in my post row fill, I'm going to populate my row ID data parent. So my row ID data parent is actually my field which will be used. And the variable which I've defined on top but not yet filled is this one. So if I would execute this now, basically nothing much would happen. I'll give that a shot. I'll refresh my page. There you go. It's still more or less the same view, but we have excluded obviously the Austrian customers. Now, next step is to build the children. So we're going to build the children after we've loaded all the records. So here, after we did the load, I'm going to now build the children. And I'm going to say input France. What I'll also do is I've made here a procedure, and I'll put that here down below. And that's my build children procedure. So basically this one, what it'll do is I'll get a parent country. So I'll do a for each on the French customers of France, and I'll loop through every and each of one of them, and I'm going to link the ones which are from Austria to the ones which are from France. And as you can see, I'm going to simply reuse the same dataset with the dataset fill. I'll simply just change my query prepare, my dynamic query, to say, okay, do a for each on customer with that index where the country is Austria, and link that to my country, which is in this case, a France customer. And of course, you could repeat that in some kind of recursive call. That's easy enough to do. So this is just a small example, simple example, how you could link different rows together. So let's see how that looks like. I'll refresh the page again. And there you have it. Here, my French customer here from Paris, and I have linked all the Austrian customers to my parent record. And I've done so for every French customer. So every French customer in this example will have the 3 Austrian customers as children. So that's it. Easy enough. You can make it as complex as you want with multiple levels recursively. It doesn't matter. It'll behave the same way as long as you link together the row ID data field with the row ID data parent field. As long as you stick to that, everything will work. Thanks for listening and see you next time.